The movie starts with a girl named Mel trying to escape from a masked man who's trying to kill her. Suddenly, he appears right in front of her holding a weapon. She screams and tells him she doesn't want to die again, which shows that she had died before. Right after that, he kills her. A year later, we see a group of friends heading to the same town where Mel disappeared to look for her. The group includes Clover, Max, Nanny and her boyfriend Apple, and Megan. When they arrive, they stop in front of a supermarket and play a video of Mel standing in that same spot before she vanished. We find out that Clover is Mel's sister, and she came here with her friends especially to look for her. Clover walks into the supermarket and asks the owner, Hill, about her sister. He tells her there's a place called Glore Valley, and anyone who passes through it disappears mysteriously. He advises her to go there. Clover tells her friends what she heard, and they all head to the valley in the car. On the way, they start to feel uneasy, and the place gives off creepy vibes. A strong storm hits, but it suddenly stops as soon as they arrive. They get out of the car and find a hotel, so they go inside and find it completely empty. Nanny notices a strange hourglass and a guest book. She writes down all their names in it. Apple explores the place and finds a board with pictures of missing people, and one of them is Mel. Nanny flips through the guest book and finds Mel's name written several times. She calls the others over to show them, and they're all shocked. That night, Nanny notices the hourglass has flipped over. She asks if anyone touched it, but no one did. Suddenly, they hear a weird noise outside the hotel. They rush out and see their car has been moved, even though the area is completely abandoned. They quickly run back inside to hide and look for a phone, but there's no signal. Nanny hears another strange noise, so she follows it into a room, and finds the masked man killing Apple. Then he kills her too. Clover, Max, and Megan hear her scream, and when they rush to check, they find her dead. They see the masked man coming, so they each hide. Megan hides in a closet, while Clover and Max hide behind the door. Max tries to attack him with a chair, but the masked man doesn't get hurt and kills him. Then he drags Megan out and smashes her head until she dies. Clover sees everything, grabs a knife, and stabs him, but it has no effect. Clover runs away and hides in the forest, where she sees her sister Mel walking toward her. But just before she reaches her, the masked man shows up and kills Clover. Moments later, the hourglass flips again, and the day resets. Clover and her friends come back to life, confused about what's happening. Suddenly, the hotel door opens and slams shut by itself, and they rush to close it. Megan senses something weird and says something bad is going to happen. Then she starts screaming, the power goes out, and when it comes back, she's gone. They search for her and finally find her standing in front of the board with the missing people. She starts repeating the last words of the lost ones and tells them not to let anyone into the hotel. Then she dies. Moments later, they hear knocking on the hotel door. As they get closer, they hear Mel's voice crying for help, begging them to open the door. Clover opens it quickly, but is shocked to find her sister gone. The even bigger surprise? A house has appeared right in front of them that wasn't there before. Suddenly, a strange force pulls Clover toward the house. Her friends try to save her, but the same force drags them back into the hotel and slams the door shut behind them. Clover enters the house and finds a terrifying old witch sitting there, watching the news, which is reporting a mining explosion that killed thousands in the city. Clover tries to back away, but the witch attacks her and gives her a choice: face her fear, or become part of the place. Then Clover dies. At the same time, Max tries to open the door to rescue Clover, but Apple stops him and tells him they need to run. Max argues, reminding him that Clover is their friend and they can't just leave her. Apple coldly responds that Clover doesn't even like him anymore. Hurt, Max ends the friendship and walks out of the hotel. Nanny gets upset with Apple and accuses him of being selfish, but he insists there's no other way but to escape. He tells her his car is back in front of the house and asks her to leave with him and get help. Meanwhile, Max reaches the witch's house and finds Clover wearing a mask, totally changed. Suddenly, she brutally kills him. At the same moment, Apple and Nanny get in the car, but the masked man shows up out of nowhere and kills them both. After their deaths, the hourglass flips again, and the day resets. They discover that the creatures hunting them are actually the souls of townspeople who died in the mining accident 20 years ago. They're all trapped in a terrifying time loop, dying every single night. They decide to hide in the bathroom and wait until morning. They remember what the witch told Clover. Wait until the night passes, or face the evil. Apple gets thirsty, turns on the faucet, drinks, and hands the rest to the others. Soon after, he starts coughing up blood, and suddenly explodes. They realize the water is cursed and start screaming in horror. Nanny explodes too. The rest rush out of the bathroom. Megan suddenly feels pain. Her legs explode. She screams for help, but no one knows what to do. Her stomach swells up, explodes, and she dies. Then Max explodes as well, leaving only Clover alive. Clover gives up and lies down on the floor. Suddenly, Hill, the supermarket guy, appears and approaches her. He tells her they'll stay trapped in this loop forever unless they face their fear. Then Clover explodes too, and the hourglass flips again. The day resets. Clover tells the others she saw Hill and insists he must be behind all this. They start searching the hotel for anything connected to him and find an ID card showing he's a psychologist, along with an old journal. It says the mine explosion happened because of a drilling mistake that caused the houses to collapse, killing thousands of people. They continue exploring the hotel until they open a door that reveals a long tunnel. They slam it shut right away. A little later, Max finds an old videotape and starts playing it. In the video, they see something strange. A man is locked up with a terrifying creature called the Wendigo, and he's begging Hill to let him out. But Hill refuses and leaves him trapped for days. Eventually, the man starts to transform into a Wendigo himself. It becomes clear that Hill is conducting psychological experiments on people. Hill says in the video that everyone put through the experiment becomes overwhelmed by fear. Their muscles start to deteriorate, and after 13 days, they give up, and that's when they turn into a Wendigo. That's when Clover and her friends realize they're part of the same experiment. Hill is trying to turn them into Wendigos. Suddenly, the radio switches on, and they hear Hill's voice. Clover speaks to him and begs him to let them go. But Hill says one of them must die. Clover refuses to sacrifice anyone and demands to meet him in person. Hill agrees and tells her to cross the forest. He'll be waiting. Clover runs off alone. Her friends try to stop her but fail, so they chase after her. As they run, a Wendigo appears and attacks, but they manage to escape. Megan falls into an underground house, where a Wendigo grabs her and drags her away. Max reaches Clover just in time before the creature gets her. She begs him to kill her, and then kill himself so they can reset the day and make a new plan. Max agrees, and they both die. A new day begins, and they wake up again in the hotel, but this time, Megan is gone. No one knows where she went. They realize they've been stuck in this loop for 13 days, just like the others before them, which means they're close to transforming into creatures themselves. Apple checks his phone and finds a video from Megan. In it, she says she's going after Hill to stop him. Clover refuses to give up and tells her friends they have to fight their fears. If they give in, they'll become monsters like the others. They decide to open the tunnel door and go in. Soon, Wendigo creatures appear, and they run and get separated. Clover ends up alone, and suddenly runs into her sister Mel, now fully transformed into a Wendigo. Clover is forced to kill her, because she's no longer human. She keeps going and reaches Hill's lab, where she finds Megan trapped with a Wendigo, but the door is locked. She searches for keys but can't find any. She continues on and finally reaches Hill's office. He appears, holding a cup of coffee, and tells her she's special, because she never gave up. Hill explains that everything happening is a result of their fears. The place feeds off their weakness and psychological trauma. Everything they're experiencing is all happening inside their minds. Clover notices a leaking pipe dripping water above them. She remembers the water is cursed. In a quick move, she sneaks Hill's coffee cup under the drip. When he drinks it, he explodes and dies.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Clover grabs the keys, frees Megan, and they reunite with the rest of their friends, who've managed to face their fears and defeat the creatures. Finally, the sun rises, and the nightmare ends. They get in the car and drive away from the cursed place as fast as they can. And that's the end of the movie. Don't forget to like and subscribe so we can hit our first 1,000 subscribers. See you in the next recap.